strip the act. Youth fed up and we stating facts. Get into that. Fire upon fraud. We not bow down. We not applaud. PPP can't hide. Face gets scarred. That's a PNU youth. God in the yard. Get into that. Fire upon fraud. We not bow down. We not applaud. PPP can't hide. Face gets scarred. That's a PNU youth. God in the yard. Get into that. 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 Get into it. Get into it. Get into it. Get into that. Get into it. Get into it. Get into it. Get into that. Yeah. Wah. How you get into that? No sweet chat. Throat bust pipe and we busting back. Mic in hand, we strip the act. Youth fed up and we stating facts. Get into that. Fire upon fraud. We not bow down. We not applaud. PPP can't hide. Face gets scarred. That's a PNU youth. God in the yard. Them teeth with tire, smile upon face. Bill motion while people beg grace. Sell out contrast. Stash the case. So now you they a fee burn down the place. PPP talk nice but them hands red. Rice man trying school child underfed. Flood them cars and blame the rain. So we bring truth like bullet to brain. How you get into that? No sweet chat. Truth bust pipe and we busting back. Mic in hand we strip the act. Youth fed up and we stating facts. Get into that. Fire upon fraud. We not bow down. We not applaud. PPP can't hide. Face gets scarred. That's a PNU youth. God in the yard. Get into that. Fire upon fraud. We not bow down. We not applaud. PPP can't hide. Face gets scarred. That's a PNU.
Good evening, good night, viewers. Welcome. We are here on
Getting to that.
and that is it. You understand? Because we're going to get to it tonight. So before we start off the show, I'm sure you're all wondering, Valdo, what we're doing here. We would like a few words from our sponsors for the program today.
Transparency, accountability, and good governance. Vote APNU. Transparency, accountability, and good governance. Vote APNU.
Guys, I don't know how you could say it better than that. I don't know how better you could put it, but there you have it. Thank you so much to our sponsors for believing in us. We really appreciate you all getting to that. And we're about to get in tonight. So we have, how much guests we have tonight, Rolando?
We have approximately 6 guests.
Got a lot of people. That's a lot of people, and we're gonna be powering through.
Of
right?
course.
So what was it? I forget it. What we supposed to be talking about for us?
Why, we were in New Amsterdam on Saturday, and the crowd was so hyped up.
Yeah.
That we forgot to announce
We were
something
supposed
important.
to do. Yeah, we were supposed to do. So we can do that.
I
now.
want you to tell the viewers what we got coming up.
So August 10th, we are going to Linden, but we're not just going to Linden. We want to make a statement. So on the 10th of August at 11 p.m., we will be assembling. Where is it?
The Square of the Revolution.
Coffee. Sorry, coffee. We're gonna be at coffee at 11 a.m. That is Saturday. So no, that is Sunday coming. Right? God willing, we're gonna be there, and we have a motorcade. So we want you to bring out your car. Sorry, we want you to bring out your car. It says it's Kiar. How you spell the Kiar?
CYAAR.
So bring out your Kiar, okay? Bring out your bicycle, your truck, your van,
whatever,
your bus, whatever. Just come out, and we're gonna have the vibes. We're gonna have the energy. The only thing we don't have is you. And we're gonna be heading up rather to the rally later that evening on Sunday, August 10th.
Linden, the Green Wave is coming to you.
So we're gonna show them the ad right now.
think I foolish, ain't nobody playing. I voting up new. You could come with.
Be part of the APNU Motorcade on Sunday, the 10th of August. We head to Linden Town. Jump in a car, jump in a bus, hop on a bike. Once it's rolling, we're moving. But wait, Berbice, Region 4, Georgetown, Region 3. No man moves alone. With the APNU, we're moving together. Assembly Point Square of the Revolution at 11 a.m., where we will pour libation. The motorcade leaves at 12 noon. We head to the town where the bauxite is found. Linden Town. Get your rags, get your flags, get something green and be seen on Sunday the 10th of August on the Square of the Revolution at 11 a.m. The motorcade heads to Linden Town at 12 noon. APNU.
I got a voice and I go use it.
Putting people first.
And I won't lose it. Can't buy my voting, not with nothing. I standing up for my children and the country. If you think I'm foolish, I nobody playing. I voting up new. No one else but up new.
Let's have the music. I love that song, you hear me? And for those of you, we have these songs available. And, if you just want to copy, message the pages, and we're going to get you these songs because we need these things to be out. So as you heard it earlier, we are getting to that. And I could promise you, this is the most unbiased political show out there. I promise you, don't worry with the hat, don't worry with the cut. We are just here to talk facts and sit down and gaff. We don't have any motive or anything out there, Not going to tell you that, Who knows? So we're going to get into the first topic. And we have two lovely guests that I think are going to really do this topic justice. And that topic is mental health. Yes, we're going to be talking about mental health. And in front of me, I have the lovely Lashonda Ellis and Mr. Marvin Cato with us tonight. Good evening, guys. How y'all doing?
Good night. Very hyped. Very
hyped. Yeah. Correct.
Good evening. I'm happy to be here.
You're happy to be here. We're happy to have you here. So
Thank
we're talking
you.
about mental health. It's election season, the heightened emotions, people feeling very strongly, people saying a lot of things, people abusing, What does mental health mean for you?
Well, a lot of politicians, we hide our struggles. But as sometimes we're scared if people might say it's a weakness. But I think it's better you show your real struggles and be real because we're living in it. Mm-hmm. So keeping the in, I think there's you now putting yourself in a mental state of suppressing your feelings. Mm-hmm. Because you're out there telling everybody, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. Yes, and we put in you first, but sometimes we forget to put ourselves first. So, yeah.
And, Eden, on a heavier note, mental health is a key thing in our society today. We see especially our young people being drawn away and not doing the right things because of mental health. It's taking a toll on them. We see the murders, the suicides, and I will ask you, Marvin, what could be the cause of that? Is it a lack of programs? What do you think in your mind?
I think young people, one of the things we have to look at is recreation. Sometimes we have to find a way to give off the excess energy that we have. And being a part of sports, having sports in the community is something that we should really get back to. Because as it is right now, we have a number of communities that are not having viable access to sporting facilities, right? So de-stressing, I know for myself, if I'm stressed, I listen to music. And one of my favorite food is chana. So
I like chana too.
So you get me the right music, especially if it's soca. Get me the right music, get me chana, and I'm good to go.
And I like how you say that thing about, sporting and community and getting out there, because you find that most of the youth, everything is just on their phone, the internet. And I think we've gotten into this culture, and it shows, being on the campaign trail, Valdo could tell you as well, you're talking to people and they're not really there, the information is there, and they're not aware that, hey, look, we did X, Y, and Z, we would have been the persons to put the plans down for the Heroes Highway, and these things are available, even though they're on their phone, but they're not really, focusing on what they really should. And I think it really speaks a lot that, you need to go out there, even the other day I was a little ill, and I had to force myself to rest because I was like, oh my gosh, what will my party say, what about the persons out there that I promise I'm going to be doing this for? And as she put it, you have to find that kind of balance,
Exactly. And even, as leaders of the future, and I would say leaders presently in our own right.
Correct. Yeah.
It relates to mental health. We say this show is not biased, but in order to get to that, we need to say the facts.
All right, go through.
Is it a case of the government of the day not putting emphasis on social programs and those type of things in our society, in schools, in every level of educational institutes across this country?
It is true, because we're speaking about mental health, but in schools we have counselors of any sort.
Exactly.
Even teachers sometimes may need counseling.
Exactly.
So I don't think the government is doing anything to better this mental health.
And those are the things that we need to look at, because when you have a society that is filled with people who can't get the help that they need, sometimes you may call the hotline and it will ring out. What is the purpose of it? I think we need to put more emphasis on mental health in our country today, because we see our young people falling like crazy across this country.
I can tell you from a personal perspective. I used to teach, and one of the hardest things to do as a teacher is to be a teacher in the classroom. You have to be like a father, right?
True.
And to guide children, especially children who are struggling with mental health issues, it's not something easy, because you try your best to encourage them and push them along the right track as much as possible. But here we come right back to sports, because I'm from Buxton originally, and if the facilities are not there for the youths to go to the facilities to enjoy themselves, they're going to find themselves engaged in the wrong sort of things.
Exactly. And I think it is a matter of, you see people on the streets, we will call them vagrants. I don't belittle them. I think the system has failed them, because all of this leads back to mental health. There are not enough institutes or centers for them to access the help that they need to get better.
And you talk about the vagrants, it's not just the vagrants that need some, mental health. I saw a meme talking about a
Supertitis.
Supertitis, that might be an issue as well too. So it's not just the people on the road. You have some people in some high places that could, check into these institutes as well, and I think, we might be laughing, but it's a serious thing.
They themselves have some mental issues to deal with, and a lot.
Are we gonna get to that for sure?
Yeah.
So I think we discussed a lot there with our first guest. We got a lot of other guests to go to. So I ain't chasing all the way, but as my friend used to say, you don't have to go home. But you can't stay here, because we're going to get into that. But thank you so much, Ms. Ellis. Thank you so much, Mr. Cato. I think your views were amazing, and we're going to be moving along swimmingly. So, guys, you all would have seen what we're about to show you on Emancipation Day. And I think, I'm going to let the producers cue it up, and then we're going to comment. But, Rovaldo, I think it speaks of volumes of the society in which we live in today. And there you have it on your screens. You're watching, yes, you are watching that. That is the president of Guyana. And that would have been the first picture he placed up on Facebook or on social media for his emancipation address, and this was the picture. And I think a lot of people were outraged by it.
It is the blatant disrespect to our African Guyanese brothers and sisters. It is the blatant disrespect to them, and for too long, I feel that community has been tolerating these people. And it is time to put a stop to that.
We gotta accept it. We gotta accept it for what it is, and this is not us, they can say it's propaganda we push it, but look, this is real. This was posted,
Correct.
and you could look at the image and you could tell me how much Afro Guyanese do you see in the photos. I mean, to their credit, and not a lot of that they get in. So to their credit, I mean, a few moments later, it was edited and more photos were added, but not without a particular political commentator calling the Guyanese public stupid for having outrage. So, I mean, there is the disrespect and then there is the insult that follows. And I mean, come September 1st, we want you to keep this fresh in your minds because, it only happened the other day and we're about, 29 days and counting?
In and around there.
Yeah, we've been on the road, we don't even know. So we're going to move on. I see my other two guests have arrived and we're going to introduce them, but we're going to do it differently this time. We're going to introduce a topic.
Yes.
Then we're going to introduce them.
Eden, you take this one because...
All right, bro. So we're going to be dealing with voter education, and we're going to deal with it a little differently. And to assist us with this tonight, we have Mr. Dylan Mohammed and we have Miss Shakia. Lord have mercy.
Stand corrected.
You understand? Beautiful girl like that, you have to get it right. Shakia Kush, ladies and gentlemen. So, guys, let's talk about it. Let's get straight into it. One of the main things I'm hearing from the youths is that they don't want to vote and they don't feel like if elections is for them. What do we say about that?
Well, the first thing I hear a lot is that regardless of who in power, we still got to work. And my thing is always, all right, yeah, regardless of who in power, we still got to work, right? But how much we working for? And there's the difference. So that's always my point. But a lot of people are still running with this, idea that, we still got to work, or, regardless of who in power is the same thing, and that is something that we need to address.
So is it a case where the government is, and this is for anybody, yeah? Is it a case where the government and the youth have parted ways in a bit, or politics and the youth don't feel like, because all of us are youth naturally. You're a youth,
Right.
You're a youth, right?
Of course. I'm a big youth, right? But I'm still a youth, right?
So you say you're slowly heading out, all right? You're gracefully exiting youth.
In a couple of years.
I'm just putting the legs, man. I'm just putting it. But the reality is that, besides us here, when you go out there, the youths are not interested in politics. They're not interested in governance.
Correct.
Why do you think that's so?
I think two things. One is that the leadership of the country generally don't involve young people much, right? And that's the first thing. Systematically, you find that young people are left out of most conversations. You might have one or two token young people being involved and they get benefits, but the rest of young people is like, okay, we're going on with we, right? Secondly, a lot of our generation, we live in these cocoons. And I think that the system that we have now, I can call the curse word capitalism, especially the kind of capitalism
you need to tell us
since the 1980s.
There's a big word. Remember, certain people can't pronounce
it. So since the 1980s, this is what we've been dealing with, right? With people like Ronald Reagan and Barry Jagdeo and so on. I ain't gonna call too much of this. But this system, when we the small, you used to hear a lot, don't talk to strangers, don't go over by the neighbor. It was channeling us into this cocoon life that we live in now. So everybody in their own little world and is like, what the government doing ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You understand? So why I got I look at right? I just want to chase a bag for me and me family, and that is it.
But hold on. I see Shakaya shaking.
Because what I wanted to say is because we've been on the ground for a lot, like the days that I've been working or walking with Mr. Norton and so forth, I've noticed that most of the youths are saying that they're not interested because they're not getting the policies that most of all the parties are obviously offering, right?
But they didn't set up a youth council or something. So
no, but hold on. What I'm saying, right? But what I'm saying is, even though that we're on the ground and we're telling them what APNU has to offer for the youths, I think they need to hear more of it. And then we will probably have more youths coming out to vote. Even, for example, I will use when we went to Albystone. Mr. Norton was talking to some of the youths there, and it's like they didn't know what he had to offer. But once we got the message across, we noticed that we won a lot of, we're going to get their votes because they said they're going to give it to us. And I think if we continue to go on the ground and do what we're doing all the time, we're going to get them. So I don't think we should really look at it and say that maybe we don't have them. We will get them once we go to them, right? And I think that's what we need to do.
And I think the groundwork that she's talking about is breaking into those cocoons. So when you come to people where they are, you're coming into their cocoon.
Correct.
Right? So sorry for cutting you.
And I like the point that you made about the system. Local government has a lot to do with how youths respond to politics. For quite a number of years, local government was missing, the elections rather, was missing from this country. Now, in order to get youths into politics, you need to start at the grassroots level.
Exactly.
Not everyone can be propelled, like some people.
But you see, some people might jump up and say, well, look, we getting the youths involved now, we giving them, look, they're collecting a little thing here, Well, what do you say?
A little thing?
But they could say that.
I live by one statement.
All right.
If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach that man how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So you need to make decisions.
But if you give me a fish every day,
nonsense. That is not sustainable.
But I see they're doing
Eden, you're a politician now, and
But I want to know, right? Because these parties, right? We're talking about two in particular, right? The BAP and WIN especially. When they come in to give these young people a fish every day, we know that after September 4th, the supply done.
But let me just take a point. You talk about them coming and giving handouts, small handouts for votes. Now, when you do that, you are making the young people dependent. And when they can be dependent on you, you can tell them what to do and how to live and who to support. You are not emancipating them from their thoughts.
And I think that's part of the policy that we are going to put forward. We have certain plans that really target the youth. Certain things like the rent to own, certain policies like the university grants that we're going to be giving to persons in tertiary education. We're going to be giving you a group of money or a set of money for you to just go to school and study. And not to mention our track record precedes it, because when we track record, I said something wrong?
No, I'm saying I agree with you. Correct.
Sorry, but you see, the track record is in front of us. We saw what happened from 2015 to 2020 when we started to revitalize the economy. And I think what a lot of youths don't realize, I hear a lot of people coming and say, oh, we all do to we, how y'all gonna let that happen. And I don't think they realize that when we inherited the system, it was 23 years that it was running to the ground. It was broke. You understand? We were having sanctions from as far as up as the European Union.
We're blacklisted
us and said, look, we're not going to be dealing with businesses with you because you don't have an anti-money laundering policy.
Correct.
And then we had a quick little something that went through, which we really had to front load. Then we had to come, take the country out of that corruption index, take the country off of the blacklist, fight back and do all of these things while still managing and running the government, ensuring that there's stable electricity, ensuring that public servants have a proper trajectory of earning to expect, and that's what people fail to realize. It could not have happened fully in 5 years. You understand?
And you spoke about public servants just now. And it is a key point to make that young people make up a large portion of the public servants in this country.
And they make a larger part of our electorate.
Exactly.
And we really need to talk to the youth. So I want everybody to go around. You guys have to look behind me, right? And tell the youths, from your heart, why is it that they should vote in closing?
All right. So I want to remind the youth in the public service, because this one is personal to me.
Speak your thing, Dylan.
When we were in government, the public servants got 10% increases every year, non-taxed, without oil money. Just remember that. When the PPP took over in 2020, they started giving 8% and less, and they taxed it every time. So we ended up getting 5% or less every year. With oil money, with the biggest budgets ever, every year, right? So imagine now when we go back into government and we get the 1 point, how much of a trillion it's going to be next year. Imagine what we're going to do for the public servants, for y'all young people who working in the public service. All right? So my target tonight is y'all who working in the public service.
The ones who probably afraid to come out.
And I know enough of them because they just reach out to me.
Correct, yeah.
Right? Because that's where I've been. So y'all know, I know y'all getting victimized, I know y'all getting targeted, everything else, right? But just remember, they can't victimize you for what you're doing in the polling booth. So put your X by the palm.
I'm not get better than that. I don't know how you're going to do better than that, we're gonna get to that too. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I could do any better than that because he said everything. But I will probably just elaborate on it some more. And I will say that not just I'm not somebody that has always been in this type of aspect, because really I did not grow here. But when I look at the way in which we have a lot of youths, especially from my area where I am from, which is Haslington, when I look at everybody that's in my area, I know that we still have a lot of work to do, not the party, because PPP is not doing what they're supposed to do for us as youths. And if you don't want to look at yourself, look at your community, look at the people that's around you, look at the children, they have youths out there that probably can't even have money to go back to school or something of that nature. And if you don't want to think of yourself, think about your community, because back in the day, everything was about community. It was about the people that's around you. Let's get back there. And I think once we get back there and you look at what is going on, I know that when you reach to that when you reach you're going to put your X to that palm, because we're going to do what's best and what's right for everybody. And I have faith in Mr. Aubrey Compton Norton that he is going to do what he has to do for the youths and everybody in the community and in Guyana as a whole. So I agree. Let's go out there and vote, because we have to do it. It's right. It's what's right.
There's nothing else to say.
It's what's right.
So guys,
green fighting machine.
Clean.
I love the song.
Wow, we gotta use that more. So thank you so much, Dylan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, yes.
1 second. You mentioned the youth council. But we get into that. We get into
Okay. So Dylan has re-invited himself. So that is how you do it instead. Not a problem. We are going to get to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to that. We're new, we're fresh, we're on the scene. I'm Eden
Rovaldo,
and we're going to be carrying you through the paces this evening. You heard earlier, we dealt with mental health. We just dealt with voter education. And right now, we're here to remind you that this Sunday,
Linden, we're heading your way.
We coming big, and we're going to be coming in style. So we have a motorcade at the 10th of August at 11 a.m. at the Square of the Revolution Coffee. For those of you who know it, we're going to be meeting there, and we're going to be driving all the way up. We done got the truck, we got the water, we got the vibes. You understand? What we don't have is you. We're inviting you. Bring out your car. I was corrected. I said car earlier, and I was told it is car. So bring out your car, your horse, right? Your bicycle, the truck, the van, everything, and let's go all the way up, because we are heading to Linden. Yes, Linden, we're going to be there with you. We're not going to anyways, we're not gonna go over what Linden experienced just now, but Linden, we are heading to you, and we're gonna play the ad for you very, very shortly, very, very soon.
You think I foolish? Ain't nobody playing. I voting up no.
You could come with. Be part of the APNU Motorcade on Sunday, the 10th of August. We head to Linden Town. Jump in a car, jump in a bus, hop on a bike. Once it's rolling, we're moving. But wait, Berbice, Region 4, Georgetown, Region 3. No man moves alone. With the APNU, we're moving together. Assembly Point Square of the Revolution at 11 a.m., where we will pour libation. The motorcade leaves at 12 noon. We head to the town where the bauxite is found. Linden Town. Get your rags, get your flags, get something green and be seen on Sunday the 10th of August on the Square of the Revolution at 11 a.m. The motorcade heads to Linden Town at 12 noon. APNU.
I got a voice and I go use it.
Putting people first.
And I won't lose it. Can't buy my voting, not with nothing. I standing up for my children and the country. If you think I foolish, I nobody playing. I voting up new. No one else but up new.
I have a voice.
Well, Eden,
And I can use it. I voted up new.
I know I voted.
What you mean you hear the song?
palm.
All right, the palm every day. Any day.
So, viewers, we are slowly but surely getting to that.
Yeah, you don't know.
And
you
on
don't
this
know.
segment, we'll be looking at sports across the country and how it has been neglected and how we can fix it when we get into office. So we have with us here Michael Richmond, a young, vibrant young man who is passionate about sports.
A sports enthusiast. Put the
Can you
camera on
introduce a
him.
young lady for me?
Put the Well, and next to him we have the lovely Kamala Baskaran. Baskaran. And Michael, you could see when you're looking at Michael, you could see that he dep on sports. I don't know if he just put it on to come and do this recording, but he dep on. You had a game today or something like that?
I just came from a session with some kids right at Farnham Ground.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow, you hear that? And you're a candidate as well?
Definitely.
Wow, this is a candidate of sports. I don't know, like, if people don't want to vote for this.
He's
party,
an all-rounder.
Come on, and this is just one of the many youth candidates that we have up along with Rivaldo and myself. So, Michael, sports is not my forte, so I'm going to let you take this conversation. You understand? Talk to us about what has really been happening in the sports arena in Guyana. What are your concerns, things that you noted,
Yeah, so first of all, I'm happy to be here, Eden. I'm happy to be here, Valdo.
As you should be.
Yeah, I'm really happy to share this space with you guys and also this beautiful young lady right beside me. But when we look at sports in Guyana, it's pretty much important to say that sports is being neglected. We can look at sports where sports was in 2015 when we prioritized sports as a government under the APNU and the AFC. And we can look at sports now, and just as what we're seeing the government doing when they're making basically everything into friends and family and favorites thing, this is exactly what we're seeing in sports. Or I sat and I listened, to Lashando when they spoke on mental health. And we need to understand that sports is not just batting a ball or kicking a ball, but we need to understand that these investments as well needs to be, dished out into sports as well, because
more structure.
It needs to be structured, because the thing about the Minister of Sports, Mr. Charles Ramson, these are guys that are like addicted to just results. But what are we giving to our male and our female, our boys and our girls, for them to go out there and, fetch the Guyana flag to that level? It is funny to see every time we get a gold medal, we see the minister, we see the director of sports, and we see the assistant. We just see them at the airport to come, and then they pretend like if, they were investing in these sportsmen all the time. When in fairness, we have teams walking around the streets like Guyana with raffle sheets, seeking sponsorship to travel. We're seeing young sports women pushing pickle mango carts. I'm not saying anything wrong with it, but these are what our young
that's the
sports.
talent.
They're not
these-
respected
they are not
enough.
respected
And you
enough.
could correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but I noted that the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport has had a bigger budget every year.
Yes.
Every
And
year.
they've had a bigger budget than they would have in a while, especially under this administration. So to me, help me and the viewers like myself who know that, okay, more money is being put into these particular areas, but why are we not seeing the results?
I mean, just Sunday at New Amsterdam, I couldn't have said it any better. Charles Ramson has proven to be the worst sports minister we've ever seen in the history of Guyana. For 5 years, we haven't seen any major infrastructure being completed. We could look at the track and field in Borbis and Linden, not completed. We could look at the Palmyra project, not completed. We could look at basic, and those are stuff that requires a lot of finance. Let's look at some of the basic things. For example, we have Fruit Conquerors ground that's in Tocqueville. In 2022, the minister went there, gave out a contract to some people to finish off that ground. To this day, it doesn't have a proper pavilion. And the sad part about it is that the executives of that specific sporting ground is basically asking what we're looking for, basically asking the people to assist them to get in sand. You understand?
In our Irish
in our
economy,
Irish
that is
economy.
We come on and laugh and talk to me. We're going to train mine.
Basically, adding to what's being said, first of all, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
My strongest forte is not sports. I'm not very athletic. So, but what I can comment on is, whilst on the topic of lack of investment in sports in Guyana, why not let's focus too? I read somewhere there, someone said that sports starts in school.
Yeah.
The investment starts in school.
Yeah.
And I
Physical
concur.
education, yeah.
Now, what is being done in schools besides, let's do some jumping jacks outside? What's there to drive our young people to finding that talent? We have skillful youths in school who are passionate about football, basketball, cricket,
imagine
table
if the guy
tennis.
who does juggle the cutlass. Imagine
Yeah.
if he had a good, if there was a
Do
proper
you
system
know,
to bring
we
in,
could
you
have
know.
been seeing one of our Guyanese brother on the stages of America's Got Talent.
And you know, I think it hurts me as well because like every 8 years when you see Olympics come around, every 8 years, right?
Yeah.
You-
Every
you
4 years,
watch
actually. 4 years.
good
Yeah.
thanks. Every 4 years you see it come around and you watch, you know, you see that at that point, that is the only point in time where the whole country is going to be like, hey, that's we athletes. And you know, I
Yeah.
had friends who were athletes through school, you know, some of them were lucky to have. And then you could see the difference between those that had and those that didn't, because sometimes those that didn't were just as good. But now he got to decide between, okay, if he can spend 3 hours at training or if he can go help his mother push the car down the road because this is what they got to do to eat and to survive. And you see a lot of youth who are coming out of these particular societies and they're talented, you know, you can't touch them with a ball, a button, you know, and they're so talented, but there is not that focus. I mean, I know they might say, oh, we invest, we do this and that, but you could see that there's not that intense focus to really extract our talent and let them know, hey, you can kick a ball, we can sort out everything for you. You go to school and you just kick the ball for me. That is what you need. So the talent doesn't just need to have the environment, but as Michael said, there needs to be the structure. There needs to be that investment.
And Ian, you know, it is not as if we cannot do it. We see our neighboring
and
countries.
it is not as if we will not do it.
We will.
Yeah,
because we know
We
the
will,
plans that you
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
We have the plans, and I'm not going to go over the you heard the I'm speaking to you, yes, you know yourself. You've heard the interview with Mr. Tony and the leader.
Yes.
And you heard how our leader was able to deal with the issue of sports. And that, I should let you know, that was not a scripted interview, but it shows that we have sat down in our own meetings. And everybody in table, and we have gone through these things because the things that we need to change Guyana is not something that is hard to, you know.
But you see, Eden, the funny thing about it is that you see, sports in itself is a very peculiar thing, I must say. And when you are in government and you're looking at sports, I think it is pretty much important for you to have a group of focused young men and women around you. Like, for example, I heard our leader said, in the interland, we see that these kids, they prioritize swimming a lot. But not only do they prioritize swimming, I'm beginning to see a new trend. These interland kids begin, or more so, I'm seeing a lot of success in kayaking as well. So, what is the government doing for that?
We saw the meme, you know, we see how interesting these things could be with, you know, the guy that was
right. So I'm saying this to say it would be a very dumb idea to put a football stadium in an environment that we see kids have
interest.
There's no interest.
But that is what we know and how this government works.
That
is what they do.
That's what they do.
It's just empty promises. It's just like, oh, we did this. Like I was watching on social media, young man recount his story about the 50% increases for public servants, and he had the picture up there, and then he recounted and he was like, imagine the minister telling you that, oh, it was fake and it was Photoshop, and he said that he watched this photo, he watched the flyer on the wall every day because that was on his commute. And to see how the government disrespected him to say, oh, it was fake. You know, so it's like, guys, nonsense. September 1st.
They know what they got.
You even gotta think hard.
So it's really good, and I really love the fact of what Anna spoke about. Anna, right? Correct? Atina. Sorry, I didn't want to.
It's alright.
So I really love the fact what she spoke on, and this is what our leader also spoke about to Rivaldo when he said that we cannot have schools and we don't have recreational spaces. Because what we're seeing, they're building these big, these big schools, and then it's just like what these kids are going to go and play on concrete, they fall, they injure themselves. So again, we're seeing a government that doesn't know how exactly to plan. Like, for example, just let me stray away for a second. A country that we are talking about that is boasting about we're getting 10,000 cars every 3 months, or ever so be the case, and yet say we have a government that is prioritizing roundabouts. How crazy can you even think about that? It shows that we don't plan, we don't think. Because if we're going to have all of these cars, roundabouts could create accidents, it could make the lines longer. We need more traffic lights. That's just what they need. So again, we have a government that is not thinking about, you know what, we need to implement certain things so that we can have our kids. And the funniest thing about it,
Michael, we could spend all night talking about how crazy
they are,
but we don't have
the time. And just to close, Eden, just to close, it is pretty much important, Rivaldo, to add that this is the country that they claim is the world's fastest growing economy. And
on paper, not by what we are seeing.
Yeah, not by what we're seeing. And it's Chris to see also what that this country is gaining so much from our oil revenue, and it is very sickening to see the way sport.
And we can't just wait for ExxonMobil competition and KFC. I would like
to be more. I would like to make the point as well, to put it out there so our viewers can be informed. We see our sports system being politicized. Just the other day, the Guyana Cricket Board came out and endorsed the political movement, the political party, where they shouldn't be doing that. So it is the system being politicized and used as leverage to give some people an advantage while some are left behind.
And it is really funny again to see how we have Figueroa is going to go and stand up in front of a lot of people in Linden Sunday, and then Figgy is going to say something like Linden is developing. I must say we have to say thank you to ExxonMobil who continues to invest in Linden, because the government just don't.
Michael, I could only say one thing. As my friend and my comrade Eden said, it is the syndrome of supertitis. They have to sing for their supper. And you know what he got from the government, so he has to sing for his supper.
And guys, I think we have dealt with that thoroughly. I don't think there's any better we should get than that.
Before we put an end to it, as we're on the topic of political biasness in sports, why not shed light on the fact that if we were let's say we were playing cricket, the coach is a PPP supporter, right? Or the captain, as they'd say, is a PPP supporter. And my friends get to find out, or my teammates get to find out, I support the APNU. I'm going to be sidelined. I'm going to become water boy. And I could be the best batsman on that team.
There's that.
And just because
Friends, family,
might
and
come and be like,
favorites. Yep.
oh, this is me nephew.
Yeah,
so let me put you
yeah.
on the field. But
Correct.
you being the best batsman,
You
gonna be
gotta take
sidelined
a-
to
yeah.
be water boy.
Guys, you've heard it. I can't say it
Yes.
better than this. You've heard what has been said.
Then
And we want
I
to thank
think
them.
yes, and I think generally we got to that.
We got
Don't
we
you
got
think so?
we got to a lot of that, and we're gonna be getting to some more right now. So if you're now tuning into us, we are getting to that podcast. My name is Eden, along with my brother next to me, Rivaldo, and we are gonna be getting to that. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of issues. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of we have a little issue on set, but that's okay. They're getting to that as well, right? But we're gonna be dealing with a lot of issues. So now we want to go into a little more lighter part of the program. So we have some images that we want to show you of things that we thought ourselves made us chuckle. And to help us go through that right now, we're just going to invite our friend, Mr. Well, you're gonna see him. I'm gonna introduce him when he comes on. Oh, you might have just seen him there. He's excited. I wonder which girl is on the live.
Take your
that has
time.
him
Take your
excited.
time.
But hold on, wait for the cue. Let's not rush it. But yeah, it's election season. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that make us laugh and give us a little tickle. And we plan to show you that. So right now, I'm literally just talking, waiting for my producer to pull up the footage of
Very soon, very shortly.
Very soon,
He's going to pull it
very
up.
shortly. And as we were talking about athletes, when you get a good athlete, you call the athlete a 5-star athlete.
Correct.
But when you get a good school, you also call it 5-star school. Well, you have the image there ready for us. When you get a good school, do you call it a 5-star school? Yes. So that is it. I was informed that this is in a village called Chawala. Right.
Chawala.
And this is the 5-star school, and I find it convenient that the Ministry of Education has not put up that they built this as well.
5-star by name,
5-star
but not
by
by
name,
nature.
but not by nature at all. And this is not new. We've seen these particular things occur. There was a very defining moment in our history, and there was an image that I think captured that moment with two individuals who really did us a grave injustice. And it's kind of funny because if you look at one of the individuals now, they're claiming now that they have better vision. So we wanted to show you a then and a now. So this was them then, and this is them now.
You have Charan Das and Jermaine Das.
And he says, my vision is clear. I can see clearly what is in front of me, and I see, and you see what is in front of him. And moving along, this is not anything new. We seen these things, and there's a next image that really explains what he is seeing, right? And we have here the Prime Minister saying that they have spent 29 times more money in Region 10, and I guess we know where about 70 to 80% of that money went to help a particular individual's vision to clear up a little bit.
Where this man come from, I don't really see.
Low, my friend. And moving on with some other things that we find kind of funny. We noted that on nominations day, there was a particular candidate who was explaining to the media and to the press how he intended to fund this campaign. And he was a little shy with other questions, such as his strategy and whatever. But we have gotten some information about that particular groups and how they really get to the people. We see the big crowds, we see the big rallies and the images, and we've found out, only recently what they have been doing. Because, this is a political game. Everybody wants to win as well. So let us take a look at how they go doing the campaigning. Oh wow, what was which you could slow that down, don't go too fast. He move it a little fast. You could rewind that.
I think look green,
that. Yeah,
That's a
they get into that. they definitely got that.
That's a great job.
Look at that! Wow, boy! Christmas, it gotta be Christmas, I guess. And we now see, how they've been campaigning and what has been their focus. So I guess while some of us are doing groundwork and not just making promises, but showing people how we intend to do it, some others, I guess this is some of the money he had saved up in his savings he was talking about.
Yes.
So I hope that is a very deep saving, because Guyana has close to 800,000 people. So to pay all of them that money, you must name the government. You understand?
I was frozen when I saw that,
Frozen. So we just gonna discuss briefly. We have one of our youths up here. Pan the camera to him, and we want to hear what he has to say about some of those images. What do you think about that?
Let us give the young man a chance to introduce himself.
Okay, yeah, young man, go and introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Lloyd Femi.
Okay.
That's a humble youth.
Okay, Lloyd might be a bit humble, guys, but what you don't know that Lloyd is one of our unsung heroes on the East Coast. He has been one of the driving forces behind our East Coast youth, and I want you to get familiar with his face, because he's no stranger to us. He's been working very, very hard behind the scenes, and we just have him here to share a light moment. So what do you think? Let me talk about the campaign strategy. What do you think about the campaign strategy?
So far, it's fun.
No. The campaign strategy we just watched.
Oh, now we talk about
I want to know if you're gonna let them boys know what we do.
No, we know that boys is copy, and there's copy fast and quick. Very soon and shortly.
Yes, I want to speak about the Prime Minister, Mark Phillip, Mr. Rubber Stamp. I can't understand that you will compare oil economy to oil economy. I can't imagine that, because in 2015 to 2020 we do not have oil.
Correct.
And from 2020 to 2025 we start to have oil. So I don't think we should compare those periods of time.
Somebody should have told the Prime Minister that, before he went up.
But Eden, as you know, a wise man once said he's a Philip without a mark.
Oh Lord, a Philip without a mark, boy. That's deep. That's deep. And what do you think about the vision? The vision
of the PPP? There's no vision there. There's no vision there, because.
So what do you think German is seeing?
Richard?
I don't think he's seen anything.
Oh.
Because from 2020 to 2025. He was off the scene. He was responsible for culture, youth, and sports. And he was doing nothing in Linden, anything in Linden. If he was doing something in Linden, I think the truck...
Maybe because his party was spending 20 times
I think the truck should have finished by now.
Mind you, he was the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee in Parliament.
All right, I'm making this a little too heavy. This was supposed to be a light segment, but I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, you could hear the passion. Thank you so much, Light, for sharing the brief moment with us. And I think we have got to a lot of that, and we're going to be getting to this later. And we're going to remind you now at this point in time, August 10th, Linden, we're coming.
Linden.
We have our big rally there at Linden, and we have the Motorcade procession that will be leaving Georgetown at the Square of Revolution at 12 o'clock. We'll be assembling from 11. You could come out earlier. We have the trucks, we have the music, we got the vibes, we got the water, we got flags, we got everything. The only thing we don't have is you. So we're going to be inviting you to come to us. And at the end, we have one more message from our sponsor. I was instructed that our sponsor wanted us to play the video twice. So we're going to take a brief message from our sponsor today.
Transparency, accountability, and good governance. Vote APNU.
All right, guys, I think Eden, that is all the time we have tonight.
That's all the time, and I hope you heard the message. We're going to be back soon. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Remember to share this video. Remember to check our pages for the updates. Remember to check. We have a website. Check the pages. We're on YouTube. Everything is there available for us because come September 1st, we want you to put your ex by the palm. My name is Eden. I'm with Ronaldo, and we are getting to that.
Over now.
You think I foolish? Ain't nobody playing. I voting up no.
You could come with. Be part of the APNU Motorcade on Sunday, the 10th of August. We head to Linden Town. Jump in a car, jump in a bus, hop on a bike. Once it's rolling, we're moving. But wait, Berbice, Region 4, Georgetown, Region 3. No man moves alone. With the APNU, we're moving together. Assembly Point Square of the Revolution at 11 a.m., where we will pour libation. The motorcade leaves at 12 noon. We head to the town where the bauxite is found. Linden Town. Get your rags, get your flags, get something green and be seen on Sunday the 10th of August on the Square of the Revolution at 11 a.m. The motorcade heads to Linden Town at 12 noon. APNU.
I got a voice and I go use it.
Putting people first.
And I won't lose it. Can't buy my voting. Not with nothing. I standing up for my children and the country. If you think I'm foolish, I nobody plating.